Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Good News Today. I'm Simi Pasha. Our first story this week comes from West Bengal, where a state karate champion taught a lesson to two men who thought they could get away by harassing a young woman on a lonely street. Munna Das showered these men with blows, forcing them to flee for dear life. Indrajit Kundu with our top story.
A 16-year-old girl returning home alone in West Bengal's Madhyamgram was targeted by two drunken men who reached out to accost her last week. But this was not meant to be one of those incidents that ended with the girl's sad plight. The attackers were at the receiving end of kicks and blows, courtesy the Braveheart, who is a state-level karate champion.
उस दिन मैं कैरेटे प्रैक्टिस में आ रही थी तो वो लोग मेरा पीछा किया। वो लोग पीछा करते करते मुझे अटैक करने की कोशिश की, बहुत गंदी बात किया और मुझे बहुत ही बुरी तरीके से मुझे छेड़ने की कोशिश की और मुझे मतलब रिप्रेजेंट किया। तो मैंने उन्हें अटैक किया और मैंने उनका गला दबा के उन्हें फेस पंच किया। नोज पे जैसे मैंने हिट किया तो उनका नाक से ब्लीडिंग होने लगा। तो मैंने ऐसे उन्हें मार के भगा दिया। हर लड़की को अपना प्रोटेक्शन खुद करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हर जगह तो पुलिस रहना पॉसिबल नहीं है ना, और हर एक लड़की को अपना प्रोटेक्शन खुद रखना चाहिए।
Munna Das is a state-level champion of the sport and has won 2 gold medals this year. Something the two miscreants did not know. She grabbed one of them by the scruff of his collar and rained blows on his face and kicked him till he fell down, writhing in pain. More blows followed on both of them and they started to flee, bleeding.
मैं खुद फोर्स में नौकरी करती हूँ, फोर्स का एक हिस्सा हूँ, लेकिन लड़की लोग के ऊपर जो छेड़छाड़ी हो रही है और दूसरी तरफ दूसरे जब छेड़छाड़ी करते हैं उसके प्रोटेक्शन करने के लिए लड़की लोग ही अपने आप आत्मरक्षा कर रही है, लेकिन दूसरे क्या हो रहे बड़े सीनियरी जो माँ चाची की उम्र की आंटी लोग बोल रहे हैं क्या मत करो, बाद में फिर तुम्हारे ऊपर अटैक होता है। क्यों होगा? हम लड़की है, मम पापा भैया इसके ऊपर क्यों हम लोग सेल्फ डिफेंस है? खुद के आत्मरक्षा खुद करना सीखना चाहिए और मैं खुद फोर्स में होकर बोलना चाहती हूँ हर लड़की को सेल्फ डिफेंस होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हर मुश्किल हर रास्ते में कहाँ कौन सी घटना घट सकती है किसी को पता नहीं चलता।
According to locals, the two men are habitual offenders who have been at it since many days. But Munna was visibly upset about the fact that the bystanders did not come up to help her at the time, and some even discouraged her actions, saying they might just come back to trouble her more after this.
वहाँ पे जब लोग आए तो मुझे वो लोग भाग गए, जब तो आसपास के जो लोग थे वो मुझे बोल रहे थे कि तुमने ये ठीक नहीं किया, तुम्हें ये नहीं करना चाहिए था, क्योंकि उनका एक बड़ा गैंग है, तुम जब जाओगे तो वो तुम्हें टारगेट करेंगे, वो तुम्हें नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
এমন ছোট ছোট টেকনিক আছে যে প্রত্যেকে শিখতে পারে। একজন 60 বছরের মহিলাও শিখতে পারে, 50 বছরের মহিলাও শিখতে পারে এবং একটি 10 বছরের মেয়েও শিখতে পারে। ভেরি সিম্পল টেকনিক যে অনেক কিছু করে দেওয়া যায়। আর সবথেকে বড় কথা কারাটেটা শিখলে কি হয়, মনের সাহস বাড়ে। এত সাহস তার মধ্যে চলে আসে, মানে কি বলবো।
But even though it's been a week, the girl has lodged an FIR with the Madhyamgram police station and sketches of the offenders have been drawn. The police are yet to nab them. With Indrajit Kundu in Barasat, West Bengal, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now to a heartwarming story of a woman who met her biological mother for the first time days before her 42nd birthday. Nilakshi's father had committed suicide when she was barely 6 months old, and her mother had been forced to give her up for adoption to a Swedish family. Here are glimpses from her homecoming.
42-year-old Nilakshi Elizabeth Jorindel is ecstatic. The reason, after 42 long years, she could reunite with her biological mother. Now sitting in her posh hotel room in Pune, browsing through pictures, recollecting the emotional moments she spent with her maternal family in Amravati district.
Yeah, I was staring, this woman is so beautiful. I was like, wow, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And I couldn't keep my eyes off her all the time when I was spending time with her, I just had to look at her.
Nilakshi's reunion with her mother happens 3 days prior to Nilakshi's birthday, and this is the best gift she could ask for. When she was 6 months old, her mother had to give her up for adoption because her father had committed suicide. A Swedish family adopted Nilakshi in 1976, and since then she has been staying in Sweden. But when she was 10 years old, she started thinking of tracing her real family. This after her teacher asked her to make a family tree. Knowing that she was brown and different from the European friends, she did not make the family tree. Instead, she started tracing her real family.
Oh, in school, there was a moment where they were saying that we could make family trees. And I was thinking, that is totally useless for me, because I'm not related to these people for real. So I was thinking, why should I do that?
Nilakshi works in a charity store in Sweden. While she was with her mother, she touched her like a baby, held her hands for hours, making her mother emotional.
The last moment when it was we have to leave from that place, even her mother also need to leave, and then Elizabeth broke down. And she was not understanding what to do. Then she took her this sari and then holding her, wiping her face and asking her not to cry. And then I also started crying because it was too emotional, everything, and that was beautiful.
Nilakshi took her mother out for shopping and spent 2 days with her. Although language was a barrier, their emotions could be gauged in their eyes. Now Nilakshi has decided that she will take care of her mother and fulfill all her financial requirements. She has also decided that she will regularly visit India to meet and spend time with her mother.
Nilakshi Elizabeth feels that it's a miracle that after 42 years, she has finally traced her biological mother. And after getting to know the real reason of her separation, she has decided to do her bit for her roots. That is to bring in help from Sweden for the upliftment of farmers of drought-prone Vidarbha. With cameraman Gopal Harne, this is Pankaj Khelkar in Pune for India Today.
Now to a story from a state that makes headlines every day because of increasing instances of crime against women, murders, dacoity and corruption. Even though the Akhilesh Yadav government seems to be doing precious little to change the situation on the ground in Uttar Pradesh, there are a few good Samaritans who are doing their bit to make a difference. Here's one such story about a group of industrialists in Chandauli.
This is a corruption-free industrial zone. Each of these factories have it written outside their walls that they do not believe in giving bribes. Things were very different 3 years ago in the phase 2 of Ramnagar industrial area in Chandauli. Nothing was possible here without an exchange of bribe, but industrialists decided otherwise and their efforts slowly started to change this area.
मेरा एक तो प्लाट जो है यूपीएसआईडीसी से ट्रांसफ़र करवाना रहा, जिसका 13.5 लाख रुपया मांग रहे थे। सन 2003 से मेरे को दौड़ा रहे थे, अभी तक वो ट्रांसफ़र नहीं कर रहे थे। 13.5 लाख रुपया मांग रहे थे। हम लोगों ने तय किया कि एक पैसा नहीं देंगे और बहुत दौड़े हुआ पर उसके बाद में तब फिर संस्था के मार्फत से हम लोग भी उस संस्था में भी बहुत परेशान भये। परेशान होने के बाद अब मेरा प्लाट जो है बिना पैसे का ट्रांसफ़र हो गया।
जितने भी स्क्वायर मीटर की प्लॉट होती थी ना, 100 रुपये स्क्वायर मीटर के हिसाब से हम लोगों से वो अलग से सुधा शुल्क लेते थे। और जैसे हमारे 450 स्क्वायर मीटर का प्लाट था तो 45,000 रुपये हो गए लमसम, तो उन्होंने, लेकिन हम लोगों ने वो 1 रुपये भी नहीं दिया और वो काम हमारा बिना जो है पैसे के हुआ।
Because of the corruption charges, initially industrialists left this area. Local investors came forward and with their no-bribe approach, soon they started to change the face of this entire zone. Today, there are close to 150 factories set up and nearly 50 of them have already started production.
गर्व के साथ कह सकते हैं कि हमारे यहाँ कोई भी कार्य करना एक बहुत आसान है। उद्यमी एक मामूली एक ड्राइवर को भी आप कोई काम विद्युत विभाग में भेज दिए, विद्युत कनेक्शन लेना वो उसको मिल जाएगा। बाटमा विभाग या कोई भी विभाग हो, आपके कार्यों में कहीं से भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगा। ये उत्तर प्रदेश का एकमात्र एक ऐसी धरती है, ऐसा इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया है जो कि आज के दिन में 100% करप्शन फ्री इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया है।
Industrialists in this area has set a trend of corruption-free industrialization. Bureau Report, India Today.
From Uttar Pradesh to Kerala now, where a young boy helped save the life of a baby elephant. This 6-year-old jumbo slipped and fell into a ditch and got separated from his herd. Now, it would have been stuck there for days had it not been for this young boy who heard the elephant's cries and alerted forest officials. Take a look.
A baby elephant trapped in a well in Kottamangalam, Kerala, struggling to find its way out. Forest officials believe that the 6-year-old elephant may have been part of the herd of 8 jumbos seen by the villagers last night. The desperate cries of the baby jumbo was heard by Anandu, a local who informed villagers.
അന്നേരം നമുക്ക് നോക്കാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു ഞങ്ങൾ അതിൽ കൂടെ ചെന്നപ്പോൾ ചീറ്റി. അന്നേരം ഞങ്ങൾ വിചാരിച്ചു എന്നിവിടെ പന്നി വരാറുണ്ട്, അപ്പോൾ പന്നിയാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് ചെന്ന് നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ ആന കിടക്കുക. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് എല്ലാവരും വന്നു.
The villagers in turn informed forest officials and then started a 5-hour marathon rescue operation. A narrow way was dug out for the baby elephant to escape.
കഴിഞ്ഞ രാത്രി ഞങ്ങളുടെ പറമ്പിൽ വന്ന ആനയത് 8 എണ്ണം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ ആനയാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഓടിച്ചപ്പോഴാണ് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വന്നത്.
The baby elephant was slightly injured but went towards the jungle and is under surveillance of the forest watchers till it joins its original herd. Bureau Report, India Today.
You're still watching Good News Today. Now, can you imagine a movie set where the director sets up a scene, gives directions to his actors, says action and cut via Skype? Believe it or not, Hollywood director Randy Kent is making a Kannada film exactly like that. Pratibha Raman reports from the sets of Road King.
Rolling.
Action!
Meet Hollywood director Randy Kent. He's on Skype chat from California in the US. And if you hear him saying action and cut, don't be surprised. He's actually directing a Kannada movie, Road King, over Skype.
We had done all pre-production with him through Skype. I was like, why can't we shoot? So I asked him, I was like, can we do this? He's like, man, I need 5 minutes to think about this. This is kind of crazy. So we did a demo and it worked.
Not that it was planned this way. The American filmmaker faced visa issues in coming to India, and so Randy decided to enter the Kannada film industry virtually. A simple cable from the camera monitor to the laptop connected the entire cast and crew of the film.
Sometimes what used to happen is that, okay, we're traveling and, we're in rural areas and we don't have internet coverage there in certain parts of it. So what we used to do is, we used to record a clip, then find a place where there's internet, and then play it back to him. And then he would say, no, go back and shoot it again. So we would go all the way back, shoot it again, come back.
What started as a bizarre idea a few months ago became a fun experience.
He's just like this. He doesn't know. So most of the times we know he's listening. But there have been times when he's like doing that same pose and we go around explaining the entire thing to him. And in the end, we're like, Randy, did you hear that? And he's stuck. So it's basically he's not heard anything and we think he's hearing and he's actually seriously listening. But in the end, we have to repeat the entire thing again.
This movie, Road King, is said to be dealing with the obsessive X syndrome and is scheduled for release early next year. We're also told that during the making of the movie Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the director reportedly called the crew members and explained the entire shot over Skype. The crew followed the orders. But this is a first, the entire film being shot through a video call option. With camera person Madhu, Pratibha Raman, Bengaluru, India Today.
Now to a beautiful story from Kerala, where the railway staff at the Ernakulam railway station has come up with a unique way of recycling discarded water bottles and using them to keep passengers from crossing railway tracks. The end result, will take your breath away. Revati Rajivan reports.
As you enter the platform of the Aluva railway station in Ernakulam district of Kerala, a neat row of bottles with colourful flowers hanging on the trail that separates the tracks welcomes all. It's a result of the recycling idea that struck the railway staff a few months ago. Used mineral water bottles thrown away by passengers were picked up to grow little table rose plants. Railway needed to stop people from walking across the tracks, and the bottles placed in between served the purpose.
We have to prevent the trespass of the passenger from on platform number 1 to 2. This is a daily practice. Everybody is trying to directly trespass the line, not using that foot overbridge. That is why, how to prevent this one. That is why we are trying to prevent this trespass. My HI, health inspector, told me that it is very easy, sir. We have to provide that bottle plantation.
The bottles collected by the cleaning staff are painted yellow or white, and then they are filled with organic manure. Table rose that usually is in full bloom at 10 in the morning are then planted in these bottles.
30 സെക്കൻഡ് എടുക്കും ഒരു ബോട്ടിൽ മണ്ണ് നിറച്ചും ഓട്ടോ കുത്തും ചെടി കുത്താനൊക്കെ പിടിച്ച് എല്ലാ സ്റ്റാഫുകളും കൂടിയിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാറ്. എത്ര സ്റ്റാഫ്? 12.
Passengers are the happiest lot. Amused at what they see during their travel, passengers often inquire about the idea and return home inspired by it.
I have traveled over so many railway stations for my official work. So this is first time I am seeing this type of cultivation or plantation, something like that in a new model, and it is adaptive for our home also, and it is very decorative and not even seen in a railway station, I can say.
This decorative recycling idea was an initiative of the Health Department, RPF and other railway staff. It has added colour to the station and has forced people to use the footover bridge or at least cross through the sides, which is less risky. Aluva station was awarded the best station in South last year. With this initiative and its presence on social media, Aluva station breaks the stereotypical image of Indian railways.
Putting these waste bottles to good use and saving you from these dangerous rail tracks, Aluva railway station sets an example. This hanging garden is a lesson of recycling. Households, offices and other railway stations are sure to follow. With camera person Sijo, Revati Rajivan in Aluva for India Today.
Our next story comes from Tibet, where archaeologists have restored a centuries-old stupa. It took the team close to 7 years, and historians believe that this effort will help them retrace ancient ties between India, Tibet and China. Here's that story.
After a 7 years long effort, a lost Ashoka stupa has been finally restored and renovated in Tibetan town of Nangchen. Hundreds of years old Ashoka stupa, one of the 19th erected by Emperor Ashoka in China, was unveiled for public after religious ceremonies on Tuesday.
Ashoka was the biggest and very well-known Buddhist king of India, and of course all over the world I think his name is very well known, and so we are very proud of ourselves, and myself obviously very proud of myself to be able to sort of do a little bit of contribution to the Ashoka remain.
Forgotten by time and ravished over centuries by Mongolian invasion and communist cultural revolution, this is a lost Buddhist link that binds the histories of India, Tibet and China. It is believed that over 84,000 stupas were built during the reign of Ashoka, each housing relics of the Buddha.
It can be a very good contribution towards that sort of Mr. Modi's wish, and I think that'll be. I hope that will also be sort of like beneficial.
On Tuesday, the stupa was consecrated by Gyalwan Drukpa, a Buddhist leader from Ladakh, who began the restoration effort in 2007. Local monks say the stupa fell into ruin when the reign came under Genghis Khan's Mongolian invaders. Later it was targeted during Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution in the 1960s. But locals came together in Nangchen to protect the relics, hiding them from the Red Army.
This restored stupa in Nangchen on the border of Tibet and Qinghai in China is just one of 19 stupas that were believed to have been built during the time of Emperor Ashoka in China. This is the only one that has been till date recovered, and the hope is that this difficult and complex process of restoration will just be the first chapter in writing a new page in India-China relations. Reporting for India Today in Nangchen in China, this is Anand Krishna.